Okay, pre-calc students, this is the continuation of your notes on the ambiguous case of the law of sines. So we had skipped over a few problems, and I'm going to try to go into more detail in how to solve these problems. So in problem 2, we have an angle that's 37 degrees. And what I try to do is I try to actually draw the angle to be somewhat close to 37 degrees, just so that I can see what the situation looks like. So this is where I drew angle C, 37 degrees. And I usually just draw that angle in the bottom left corner, just makes things fall into place for me. And then opposite of that angle would be side C, which is 85. Now I looked in advance at the 120 and the 85, and I saw that 120 is about 50% larger than the 85, so I tried to make this side be about 50% larger than this side. So I put 120 here. And if that's going to be my side B, that means that this here is my angle B. So then I'll call this one up here A. Alright, so then you want to use the information you have. So since you have this side and this angle, we're going to use that. We're going to do 85 over the sine of 37. And then here I have side B, so I can try to find angle B. So that's going to equal 120 over the sine of angle B. Alright, so I'm trying to get B by itself. I'm going to cross multiply 85 times sine B equals 120 times sine 37. And then I need to isolate sine B, so I'm going to divide by 85. And cancel these out. Now some people want to type into the calculator at this point. You'll remember in the previous examples I showed you how you can do the inverse sine of all of this and only type in the calculator one time. And that definitely is the best way to do this because it eliminates as much rounding error as possible. But if you find that that's just too many steps to go, you can put this in the calculator at this point, and we're going to just want to keep a lot of decimal places. We're going to keep 4 decimal places at this point. So let's just practice that method. If I put this in the calculator, I'm going to have sine B equals, and get your calculator, 120 sine 37, close your parentheses, and divide it by 85. Alright, so the sine of B is going to equal 0.8496. We need at least 4 decimal places there. And then, to find B, you would do the inverse sine. So B is inverse sine 0.8496. Now here's a trick. If I want to do inverse sine, second sine, and I want the number that's the last number I typed, you can actually press second negative, and that will put in the last answer that you had. So that's the inverse sine of this answer. I don't have to type it again, and it actually gives me all of these digits instead of just 4. Okay, and I'm rounding my angles to the nearest degree, so I'm going to put 58 degrees there. Okay, so I have 58 degrees here. And then to find angle A, I know that all 3 angles have to add up to 180 in a triangle, so I'm going to do 180 minus 37 minus 58. And we're going to get that angle A is, oh, is that the one we just found? 85 degrees. Okay, so let's put in the information we have so far. We have angle B is 58 degrees. and angle A is 85 degrees. And now I have to find side A. So I'm going to do A over sine 85, and it's possible to use the information of B, but remember we rounded to get that information, so the best information to use is the information from C, because we were given both pieces of information. So it equals 85 over the sine of 37. So then, if you multiply both sides by sine 85, you could cross multiply here, but this seems to save me a step, times the sine of 85. That will cancel these out here, and I'm going to get, let's get rid of this so I have some space. A equals 85 sine 85 divided by sine 37. Okay, and we'll put that in the calculator and see what we get. 85 sine 85, close parentheses, and divided by sine 37. Alright, so I get 140.7. And that goes here. Okay, so let's change color for case 2 over here. Now we're not sure we have a case 2, but we're going to try to find out if we do. The same initial information applies. I still have angle C, which is 37 degrees. I still have side C, which is 85. And then I still have side B, which is 120. And that would make this my angle B over here. Alright, so in this case, what would happen is this 85 would swing back. And let's see if that would make sense in this case. So if I take this side of 85 and I swing it backwards this way, let's see if I can grab my 85. It doesn't want to go. Okay, so remember 85 is still this side over here. Let's see if I can grab my B. Nope. So I'll use the eraser. Okay, so now the 85 is still over on this side, and B moved over a bit. So to find your new angle B, you're going to subtract, let's see, your old B from 180. So my old B, that was the first thing I found right here, 58 degrees. So new B is 180 minus old B. Alright, so that would be 122 degrees. So if I put 122 degrees right there, I have 122 and 37. That looks like there would still be room for angle A up here. So it looks like I am going to have a case 2. As long as these two angles don't add up to 180 or more, you can have your case 2. So your new A is going to be, let's see, all three in this triangle have to add up to 180, so it's going to be 180 minus 37 minus 122. So 180 minus 37 minus 122, and I get that my new angle A is 21 degrees. So this angle is 21 degrees. So the only piece of information I'm missing now is side A. So I'm going to set up side A over sine 21 equals, and it's best to go back to your original information, side C, 85, over sine 37. So to solve for A, I'm going to multiply both sides by sine 21, which will cross this one out, and I'll get A equals 85 sine 21 divided by sine 37. So A equals, and let's put that in the calculator. (85 sine 21 divided divided by sine 37. Okay, and then I get side A is 50.6. So side A was 50.6. That's this side over here. Angle A we got was 21 degrees. And angle B was 122 degrees. Alright, the next problem we skipped is problem 4. Okay, in problem 4, it told me that angle C was 36 degrees, so I tried to draw an angle C that looked like it was about 36 degrees. And then opposite that, it said that B was, it said C was 4.5, which is only a little bit shorter than B, which is 5.1. So here's B, and then that would make this side B. Here's C, and that would make this side C. So now we have enough information that we can try to find angle B. So we're going to say C over sine C equals B over sine B. 4.5 over sine 36 equals 5.1 over sine B. Cross multiply, and we're going to get 5.1 sine 36 equals 4.5 sine B. Okay, divide both sides by 4.5. So sine B equals all of this. And again, you can just do the inverse sine of all of this in one step in your calculator. Make sure you keep parentheses around the 36 and you should be good. Or if you want to type in early, we can do that. So let's type 5.1 sine 36 divided by 4.5. And I get 0.6661, that one will round up to a 2, so 0.6662 is equal to the sine of B. So B is going to equal the inverse sine of 0.6662. Okay? And if you're not using such a nice calculator, you might have to type inverse sine of 0.6662. Let's see. So it would look like this. But remember, you could also use that second answer function to get the exact number in there. Okay, so we're rounding our angles to the nearest degree, so I get about 42 degrees. So angle B is 42 degrees. So now I'm going to subtract from 180 to find angle A. 180 minus 36 minus 42, and I get that angle A is 102 degrees. So I'm going to do law of sines again and find out what side A is. So side A over the sine of 102 is equal to, go to your original information, 4.5 over sine 36. Okay, cross multiply is one possibility. The other possibility is that you can multiply both sides by sine 102. Okay, so let's do that. Times sine 102 times sine 102. So these will cancel, and I'll get A equals 4.5 times sine 102 divided by sine 36. And let's type that one in. Don't forget to close your parentheses there. Okay, and I get side A is about 7.5. And that will go up here. All right, let's switch colors for case 2. So in case 2, I still have an angle C of 36 degrees, and I still have a side C of 4.5. I still have a side B of 5.1. But what's going to happen is we're going to see if this side can swing backwards to make another triangle over here. And it looks like maybe it can. So it would be a situation something like this. That 36 degrees though, that one looks a little bit out of place. The 36 degrees is angle C, so let's rewrite that. Okay, 36 degrees is angle C. And over here is my B, and up here is my A. Okay, and 4.5 is this side right here. So we're going to find our new angle B. Now remember, I know it's B that I'm finding because that was the first angle that I was able to find using law of sines in case 1. So my new B is always going to be 180 minus the old one. Now, I could have been a different angle, but it's always the first angle that you find. So because I found B first, I'm going to find new B first. 180 minus 42, and so I get that my new B is 138. So this angle is 138 degrees. To find new A, all three angles have to add up to 180. So new A is 180 minus 138 minus 36, which is really close to nothing, but there's something there. So my new angle A is only 6 degrees. And let's put that in here, 6 degrees. So the last piece of information I need here is side A. So side A over the sine of angle A, so sine of 6, equals, going back to the original information, side C over the sine of angle C. Okay, I can multiply both sides by sine 6, and I'll get A equals 4.5 times sine 6 divided by sine 36. Let's type that in. Remember to close your parentheses. Okay, and I get that side A is really small. It's only 0.8. And we don't have a unit, so we don't know what that is. Could be 0.8 miles for all we know. So then we'll fill in our information here. 0.8, and A is 6 degrees, and B is 138 degrees. Okay, we have one more example on the next page. Okay, in this case, C is 88 degrees. So I'm going to put C right here at 88 degrees. And that means side C is opposite at 97. I like to put the other side over here at 51. So when I was drawing these triangles, 88 degrees is just a little bit less than 90, so I made an angle a little bit less than 90. And when I drew this side to be 51, I know 97 is almost twice as big, so I tried to make this side almost twice as big as this side. So then over here, if this is 51, that makes this angle A, and then we'll call this one angle B. So we use the information we have. We do 97 over sine 88. Equals, and we have 51, but we don't have angle A, so over sine A. you're going to cross multiply 97 times sine A equals 51 times sine 88. And divide by 97. Okay. So let's practice our old method where we put everything in the calculator at once. If sine A equals all of this, you can do the inverse sine on both sides and find that A is equal to the inverse sine of 51 sine 88 divided by 97. So we should be able to type all of that in at once and find angle A. Inverse sine 51 sine 88, close your parentheses and divide by 97 and close your parentheses again. Okay, so we get angle A is about 32 degrees because we're rounding to the nearest integer. Alright, to find angle B, we're going to subtract from 180. So B is 180 minus 88 minus 32. And we're going to get angle B is 60 degrees. So the last thing we need to find in this triangle is side B. So we're going to do B over sine B, so sine 60, equals, let's see, use your original information, so 97 over sine 88. And if you multiply both sides by the sine of 60, then you should get B by itself. So B equals 97 times the sine of 60 divided by the sine of 88. And let's type that in. Okay, and we get that B is about 84.1 if you round the 0 up here. Okay, in the second triangle, we still have the same information, 88 degrees here, 97, 51, and that would be our B and that would be our A. Now, I'm looking at this side and I don't see how I can swing it back to make another triangle because it's going to end up, this side would end up all the way on the other side. So it's looking like it's not going to work. And then what you would do to figure out what this angle is, because we got angle A first at 32 degrees, you would subtract 32 from 180 and you would get that this would be 148 degrees. So you can see 88 and 148 is not going to work in a triangle, so we're going to cross that out. There is no case 2, and let's fill in case 1. Case 1, we got 32 degrees, and then we got 60 degrees, and then we got 84.1. Okay, so if you have not yet done the 2 problems that you need to try by yourself, please do those. Check your answers with the answer key and come to class prepared with any questions you had on these notes.